Yes, ma'am. I'm Rajeshwari.
Yes, yes, okay. So,
Good afternoon, madam.
good afternoon. See, as I'm suffering with viral fever from last 4 days, like today only I came to the college. So it's first class in online mode. So today I'll just go once again revise whatever that we have studied. Tomorrow onwards I'll continue with the syllabus. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So to those who have attended the classes, can you please tell me what we have discussed in our last classes? Just a brief introduction, because most of the students are attending the class for the first time. I think they have not yet attended in physical mode. First time they're attending in online mode. So first you just give me an introduction, like what we have discussed. Then I'll give the introduction briefly. What we have studied in our contract one, contract act 1872. Any one of you.
As per Section 2, Clause H of Indian Contract Act 1872, it is an agreement enforceable at the court of law.
Done?
Yeah, and agreement includes offer, acceptance, consideration. Like the main essentials of contract are offer, acceptance, consideration, and many more.
Okay. We have started with recently we have started the topic called different types of contracts. I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, in last class we have started with this different types of
Different types of
contracts.
contracts. So those who have attended, I think you remember what we have discussed. For those who are attending for the first time, let me give my introduction. My name is Srilakshmi, and I'll take contract one classes for you. Contract one I'll take, contract two also I'll take, and even when you come to your third semester, I'll take company law. Okay, so all the corporate law papers I'll only take. So contract means, actually what's a contract means? It's an agreement. It's an agreement between two parties. Okay. So why we need to study means, see, in our day-to-day life, knowingly or without knowing, we will enter into number of contracts. We will enter into different types of contracts. For example, if you go to a bookshop, you'll give 10 rupees to that person. You will select a particular book which you have to purchase. You'll pay the money, and the person will give you the book. So this is a contract. It's neither like the person will not give you a paper where you are going to write that I want book cost of 10 rupees. It's not required. The oral, like verbal, if you say that I want to purchase a book worth of 10 rupees and the person will give you the book, you pay the 10 rupees. It's that nothing but it's a contract between two parties. Parties is nothing but two parties are accepting for the obligation. One person is telling that I'll sell the book to you, and the other party is telling that I'll purchase the book and will pay the consideration for you. So this is what a contract. So contract is nothing but it's an agreement between the two parties. So what is the definition which is given as per the company? It's sorry, the Contract Act 1872. That is everything is different. So because every human being in our life, day-to-day life, we are entering into different types of contracts, because because we are going to be like law students. It is necessary for you to know what are the essentials of a valid contract, what makes a contract, what a contract actually, what is a contract. So in this particular subject we are going to study about different types, what is the meaning of a contract and what are the essentials of a contract, and each and every essential we are going to study as like a different chapters. Okay, finally how to terminate a contract, what are the different methods of discharge of contract. And when two parties are entering into a contract, definitely they have some obligations towards each of them. If one party will fulfill the obligation and the other party will not fulfill the obligation, what is the protection which is given to the other party? So this is what about you are going to study in your syllabus contract one. Okay. So in the last classes, almost all 10 classes we have done with. In 10 class, I cannot repeat each and everything whatever we had discussed along with the examples. But simply I can give you the brief introduction, like what we have studied, just I can give you. So that I can proceed further for the next class. From tomorrow onwards, I'm going to start the syllabus. Syllabus we have already started. the topic which I left in the last class. So we have studied in contract one. We have studied what is the meaning of a contract as per the Contract Act 1872. So this Contract Act 1872 is an act which has been introduced during our English, like when we did not get our independence. From that time onwards, the act is continuous. We are following the same act with the required changes whenever the changes are required as per the development. We are making those changes and we are implementing the same Contract Act 1872. So in this act, totally, as I told you, how many chapters were there, Rajeshri? How many chapters were there?
11, 5.
Huh?
5, I hope.
5. How many chapters are there in Contract Act 1872?
11.
11 chapters.
11,
11
madam.
chapters. 11.
11 chapters are there. From the 2 chapters got
Modified. Removed.
They have given another
Chapters got removed.
separated. Got separated. It's got
Yeah.
separated.
and partnership.
And they got
act.
enacted as a separate individual acts.
Yes.
They got separated from the Parent Act and they're going to be introduced as a separate act. One act is Sale of Goods Act in 1932, and the other act is 1930, and Partnership Act in 1932. Okay, so what is the reason? Means contract means it's nothing but it's not only related to the goods. The contract even it related to the services. Number of contracts. It may be relating to the employment. Number of contracts were entered. So in 1930, they thought that whenever the two parties are entering into the contract, which is relating to selling and purchasing the goods, they are going to make this as a separate act. And they have separated from the Contract Act 1872 and they introduced a new act called Sale of Goods Act 1930. Isn't it?
Yes.
Then in 1932, they have it's a partnership. Partnership is also it's a type of contract between the parties. Partnership is also a type of contract. So Partnership Act in 1932 is also part of Contract Act 1872, but they made as like they separated from the Parent Act and they have introduced that as a separate act, Partnership Act in 1932. And the remaining Contract Act 1872, we divided that into two parts: Contract 1, Contract 2. In Contract 1, as I told you, that you are going to study about the essentials of a contract. Each and every essential we are going to discuss in brief in each and every chapter. And the discharge of the contract and what are the protection which is available to the party. Everything we'll study in Contract 1. In Contract 2, it's an extension of Contract 1. We'll study about the different types of contracts, special contracts. We call them as special contracts. Like contract of agency, contract of indemnity, guarantee, okay, partnership, sale of goods. So these are called special types of contracts which we will study in Contract 2, that is in your second semester. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, we will revise whatever we have studied. See, I have discussed with what is the definition of a contract which has been given in our Contract Act 1872. Section 2, Clause H. Section 2, Clause H. As I told you that whenever you study the definition, you will see them in Section 2 only. In Section 2, whenever we discuss this definitions, we should not call them as subsection. We have to call them as what?
Clause.
What? Clause. Section 2, Clause H. Section 2, Clause H of the Contract Act 1872 is saying that it's an agreement. What's a contract? It's an agreement which is enforceable by law. Agreement which is enforceable by law. So in detail, we have discussed what is the meaning of agreement and what is the meaning of enforceability. In simple form, like we will revise. Agreement is something, but what is the meaning of an agreement? What's the meaning of an agreement?
As per Section 2, Clause E of the Indian Contract Act 1872, agreement is an offer plus acceptance plus consideration.
Exactly. As per Section 2, Clause E, offer plus acceptance plus consideration. Offer is nothing but when one person, he will do what?
He will give a proposal to the
He will
another.
give a proposal to the other party. He will give a proposal to the other party to do as well as not to do. As I told you, offer includes both positive offer as well as a negative offer. Okay, I took the example also. I gave 2-3 examples regarding the negative offer. So when one person makes a proposal to the other person that he is willing to do something as well as not to do something. Okay, with an intention to get the acceptance of the other party. That is known as what? That is known as an offer. Okay. Then what is meaning of the acceptance? Acceptance is nothing but when the other party is ready to accept the offer which is given by the first party, and he in turn makes a promise. See, if one person makes an offer that I want to sell my book to you, the cost of the book is 10 rupees. So this is what an offer. Mr. A makes an offer to the Mr. B. Mr. B says that yes, I'm ready to purchase books for 10 rupees. So he says it is nothing but the acceptance. Acceptance is nothing but the promise which comes from the party, second party, to whom the offer has been made by the offerer. To whom the offer has been made by the offerer. So here the parties are called what? Offerer and offering. Promiser and promising. Okay? So offer plus acceptance, and what is the next one?
Consideration, section 2, clause D.
Consideration. No, no, I'm taking the class. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Consideration. Consideration means what? See, those who have attended the classes physical mode, for them, I hope that everyone is able to follow. Those who have not attended the class, it's like the first class. It will take time for you to understand. Don't worry. Whenever we are going to discuss the remaining, like the remaining each and every chapter, I will revise once again. You will also able to follow.
Okay, madam. Thanks a lot.
Don't worry, I will discuss each and everything. So as I told you, offer plus acceptance, and consideration means what? Consideration is nothing but
Monetary.
Quid pro quo. It can be more,
Quid pro-
less, equal.
quid pro quo means something in return. See
Something.
here, something. The Contract Act 1872 is stating that when two parties are entering into a contract, let both the parties to derive the benefit out of the contract. If a single party derives the benefit and the other party will not get the benefit, it's not going to form a contract. Let both the parties to derive some benefit out of the contract. So what is the meaning of benefit? Benefit means, is there any have they provided this much benefit should be there? The party has to get this much of benefit. There is no quantity. They have not prescribed anything regarding that. They said that if 10,000 property, 1 lakh property is there, if the person is selling the property for 1 lakh, it's a consideration. If he's selling for 10 rupees, it is a consideration. If he's selling for 1 crore rupees, it is also a consideration. So the amount is not prescribed. How much consideration should be there? They have not prescribed. The act is telling that it can be more, it can be less, it can be anything. Means it's not only required in the form of money. It can be anything. If I take the book, it does not mean I have to pay the money only. If I will give another book to the person, that is also consideration. So it can be anything. It can be more, it can be less, it can be anything. But there should be something. There should be something means both the parties have to derive something out of the contract. They need to get benefit out of the contract. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes,
madam.
So offer plus acceptance plus
Madam.
huh? What happened? Hello? Hello, Rashri,
Yes, ma'am.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can.
So someone said in the like chat box that they're not able to hear my voice is not clear. Do you
You're
have any
audible,
problem?
ma'am.
Is it audible? It's clear now?
Yes, you're
Earlier,
audible and clear.
Madam.
disturbance behind this.
What?
Earlier, there was a disturbance from behind, ma'am. Now it is okay, perfect.
Now it is okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. So as I told you, offer plus acceptance plus consideration is going to form what? It's going to form contract or agreement?
Agreement.
It's going to form agreement. So first part is over. Agreement enforceable by law. Agreement part is over. Okay, next come to what is the meaning of enforceability. Enforceability is nothing but when two parties are entering into a contract, they both have the obligation towards each other. Yes or no?
Yes, to perform their
They
duty.
both have the obligation towards each other. Okay, so it means enforceability means in case one party breaks the promise means he will do the breach. Breach is nothing but he will fails to perform the obligation. He fails to perform the promise. So what is the protection which is available to the other party? The other party, the other party can take the matter before the court. The other party can take the matter before the court. So
Promise are held valid in the court, ma'am.
Huh?
Promise are held valid in the court.
Promise, sir.
Promises.
Send me a message. Send me a message in the chat box now. If you have any doubt. Hello. Who is this? Sunil. See, both the parties, in case if both the parties will do the breach, both the parties has the option to take the matter before the court. So that is nothing but enforceability. Now the question comes that all the agreements are enforceable. Can we take all the matters before the court? Means the act is clearly telling that only, huh?
Legally.
Very good, ma'am. Only legal obligation. Only legal obligation. So social domestic matters. Social domestic matters means Mr. A invited Mr. B for the party. Okay, for dinner
Not
imagine.
an
So Mr. B, what he did, he went to his friend's house for dinner. By the time he reached there, he went to somewhere. Now the question comes, it's an agreement. He offered, he accepted. It's an agreement, offer plus acceptance. Okay, but what happens? Can he file a case against his friend? He cannot file. It's a
No.
domestic. It's a social matter. Okay,
Social obligation.
social obligation. It's not the legal obligation. So the act is clearly telling that only the matters which are related to legal obligation are enforceable by law, but not the social or domestical matters. They for those matters you will get the protection somewhere like in family court is there you can get the protection, but not here in our Contract Act 1872. So an agreement which is enforceable by law is called what? It's called as a contract. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. So then we have discussed about the essentials of a valid contract, which is given as per section 10 of the Contract Act 1872. So list out one by one. What is the first essential which we have discussed? First essential.
Consensus added.
Consent.
Consensus ad
Ad
item.
item.
Consensus ad item means identity of minds. Identity of minds means simply, as I told you, when two friends are entering into a contract, Mr. A is having two pens, Reynolds and what is another pen? Reynolds and give me an example, one more example of another pen. One more.
Montex.
Hmm?
Cello or Montex.
Cello.
Cello or what? Okay, cello. Cello Reynolds you take na. Okay, cello and Reynolds. So I have two pens. I imagine my friend said that she wants to purchase the pen. She don't have the pen. I said I have two pens. I want to sell one pen. So in my hand, two pens are there, cello and Reynolds. Actually, I want to sell Reynolds to her, and in her mind, she's thinking that she wants to buy cello, but not the Reynolds. So tell me, is it going to form an agreement? It's
No.
going to form an agreement.
No,
I'm making an offer and she's ready to accept it. But the subject matter regarding which we are entering into contract itself is not clear, isn't it? She's thinking the mind, both our minds are not identical. When two parties are entering into an agreement, both the parties has to think in the same sense at the same time relating to the same subject matter. If I want to sell the Reynolds, even she has to give her acceptance only for Reynolds, not for that. For the what? Yes, exactly. So consensus consensus ad item means identity of minds. Identity of minds means when two parties are entering into an agreement, both the parties has to think in the same sense, same way, relating to the same subject matter. Then only the next step can be proceeded. Understood?
Yes,
Yes or no?
ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is consensus ad item. Second one, offer plus acceptance plus consultation. These three things we have already discussed. After that, come on, fast. Huh?
Free
Free
consent.
consent. Consent is nothing but giving our acceptance. So the law is specifically clearly telling that whenever one person is giving the acceptance, he has to give his acceptance out of free consent. Free consent means a consent is said to be free when it is not affected by coercion, undue influence, fraud. Then what?
Mistake.
Misrepresentation.
Misrepresentation. So if
Misrepresent.
it is not affected by these 5 factors, the consent is said to be what? Consent is said to be
Free consent.
It is called free consent. Okay. So
Voidable.
what is the meaning of this? Huh?
It can be void.
Yes. See, it's not void. It's voidable. If it is affected, it's voidable. Void means both the parties cannot take the matter before the court. Voidable means if it is not a free consent, if any person is giving the consent out of coercion, out of threat. Okay. So it is voidable. One person can take the matter before the court and the other person cannot take. We will discuss when we'll go to that free consent chapter. Its separate chapter is there. We'll discuss along with the examples. It's just a basic introduction class. No, just don't worry about this. Okay. Parvati garu,
ఎస్ మేడం చెప్పండి మేడం
you attend classes attend అయ్యారు కదా మీరు?
అవునండి
Okay. So next ఏంటండి? After free consent, what is the essential?
Capacity of partners or parties.
Capacity of the parties. So the act is clearly telling that there are certain parties with whom you are not supposed to enter into contract. Who are they? Can you please list out?
Minor, unsound mind,
Minor.
that is drunkards.
Drunkards.
Yes, exactly. With minus. Minus means
Below 18 years. 18 years.
below 18 years. So what is the main reason with them? With the act is telling don't enter contracts with them. What is the main reason?
He is not a major.
He is not major. Only that reason. Huh? He is not a major.
He is
That's
not
the
that
act.
capacity to understand, madam.
He is not in that capacity. Like his intellect is not like he don't have that much of mind ability to understand what is good for him and what is bad for him. So that's why he cannot take the decision. If he is going to enter into a contract, the act is or the law is always supporting the minor only. The agreements with minor is void ab initio. They are void from the beginning. Always the minor is going to get protected. So be cautious. Don't never ever enter into a contract with a minor because minor will be protected but not you. Clear?
Yes,
Clear,
ma'am.
Okay, next with the drunkards means they are not in that position, in that situation. They are not in position to take the decision which is good for them or bad for them. So don't enter it. And lunatics. Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then what is the next essential?
Legal relationship, madam.
Intention
Legal
of
relationship.
party to create legal relationship.
Parties to create legal relationship. Simply, enforceability is nothing but that only. The Contract Act 1872 is telling that contract, it is an agreement which is enforceable by law means you have to enter into relation to create legal relationship, but not the social or domestic. Okay, Social or domestic matters are not covered in our Contract Act 1872. Only legal matters. Legal matters means both the parties has to get the benefit. If the one party break the promise, the other party can take the matter before the court to get the protection. So only legal relationship, but not the social or the religious or domestic relationship. Those kind of matters are not covered in our Contract Act 1872. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what we have discussed. And one more
Lawful
chapter
object.
we have submitted. What is that chapter? Different types of contracts. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, types
Yes,
of
yes.
contract.
Different types of contracts. Just tell me one by one contract. I'll explain.
Express
Express
contract.
contract. Madam.
Express contract means the contract which is either in written or
Oral.
oral form. Either which is in written or oral form. అంటే రాస్తేనే కాంట్రాక్ట్ ఏం కాదు మాట చెప్పడం వల్ల కూడా if one party says orally to the other party, that is also going to form a contract. That is also going to get protected by the law. So contract, if it is in written or oral form, that is called express contract. What is the next one?
Implied contract.
Implied contract. The contract which is neither written or not oral, which is neither written nor oral. Oral అంటే చెప్పలేదు రాయలేదు. But by the conduct of the parties, we have to understand that there is a contract. Conduct of the parties means, one example I gave, no, the moment that you enter into a bus, what will you do?
Purchase a ticket.
You're going to purchase a ticket. The person will not come to you. He will not give a contract to you. Just write the sign the contract. I will give you the ticket. There is in no bus we have seen that situation. The moment that we will enter into the contract, we will purchase a ticket, and we are going to get down at our station, like the place where we have to our destination where it will come. So it's an implied. By the conduct of the parties, we have to understand that there is a contract. Purchase the ticket. He will provide you the like a transport facility. That's it. Understood?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Implied by the conduct of the parties, neither written nor oral. Next contract.
Executed
Quasi-contract.
Quasi contract.
Quasi-contract means the contract which do not satisfy any of the condition. The contract which do not satisfy any of the condition, which is listed as per section 10 of the Contract Act 1872. Actually, what I said, when we have studied section 10 of the Contract Act 1872, there should be consensus item, offer, acceptance, consideration, legality object, then free consent, capacity of the parties, intention to create legal relationship. These are all the essentials of valid contract. But there is a contract called quasi-contract which do not satisfy any of the condition. అంటే దాంట్లో ఒక్క కండిషన్ కూడా సాటిస్ఫై కాదు, బట్ స్టిల్ దే ఆర్ కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ అ వ్యాలిడ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్స్ ఇన్ ఐస్ ఆఫ్ ద లా. సో దోస్ కాంట్రాక్ట్స్ ఆర్ సెట్ టు బి క్వాజీ కాంట్రాక్ట్స్. వాట్ దే ఆర్ కాల్డ్? Quasi contracts. Relating to what is the meaning of quasi contracts, which sections are dealing with the quasi contracts, along with the examples we will discuss when we'll go to that particular chapter. Okay, clear?
Okay, madam.
Okay. What is the next type? Next contract?
Executed
Valid,
contract.
void, voidable.
Executed contract, madam.
Executed, isn't it?
Yes, madam.
Yes, executed contracts.
Executed is nothing but relating to the performance, relating to the performance. Mr. A told Mr. B that I want to sell my laptop to you for 30,000 rupees. Mr. B said, okay, I'll purchase. So Mr. A gave the laptop, Mr. B paid the consideration, that's it, it's over. The contract is said to be comes to an end. So the executed contract is a contract where both the parties will fulfill their obligation. Both the persons will fulfill their obligation, perform their obligations or fulfill their obligation or do the duty which they are supposed to do. And the contract is said to be executed. There is nothing left. Both the parties have done their perform, like what they have to do, what they're supposed to do. Okay, the contract is said to be what? The contract is called
Executed contract.
executed contract. And the what is next one? Executory. Executory means the contract in which the party's performance is pending. It's not completed. It's not yet completed. Okay? Pending obligations. Pending means performance is pending. What they have supposed to do, the parties have not done. So it is also again divided into two types. When one party performance is pending, when one party duty is pending, which is supposed to do, that is called what? Unilateral. Mr. A gave the laptop to Mr. B, but Mr. B did not make the payment. So this is called the performance of only one party is pending. This is called unilateral contract. When performance of both the parties is pending, that is called bilateral contract. What it is called?
Bilateral contract.
Okay. So Mr. A said, Mr. B, by today night I'm going to give you the laptop and make the payment by today night only. So Mr. A make a call and said that I cannot give you the laptop. Tomorrow I'll give the laptop. So performance of Mr. A is pending. So Mr. B said, okay, today night I will not make the payment. Tomorrow, when you will give the laptop, that time only I will make the payment. So B's performance is also pending. So when both the parties' performance is pending, that is called bilateral contract. What it is called? What it is called?
Bilateral.
Bilateral. Unilateral means
Only one party.
One party is pending.
Performance is pending.
executed means executed.
Both the parties
Both the parties' performance is over. Both the parties have done what they're supposed to do. The promises which they made to the other party. Once obligation is over, the contract is said to be executed contract. And when the performance is pending, it is called executory. And when one person performance is pending, that is called unilateral. And two
Unilateral.
parties performance is pending called bilateral.
Bilateral.
Clear?
Violet.
Yes, ma'am. It is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next type of contract,
Valid contract.
valid contract. Valid contract means what? An agreement which is enforceable by law means when both the parties has the right to take the matter before the court. When both the parties has the right to take the matter before the court. Means Mr. A, the contract which satisfy all the conditions. The contract which satisfy all the conditions of Section 10 of Contract Act 1872. The contract is called valid contract, and each and every essential it has satisfied. So that is called valid contract, in which both the parties has a right to take the matter before the court. Ante oka party present correct ante దాంట్లో అన్ని సాటిస్ఫై అయిపోయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫర్ కాన్సెన్స్ addendum is there, offer is there, acceptance is there, legality of object is there, free consent, capacity of the parties, each and every essential they have, like it has complied with each and every essential. Anni comply అయినప్పుడు one party will do the breach means the other party can take the matter before the court. Same thing happens with the other party and then the opposite party. Mr. A, Mr. B, it's a valid contract అయింది అనుకోండి. If B do the breach, A can take the matter before the court. If A will do the breach, B can take the matter before the court. So that contract is called what? It is called valid contract. Next one,
Void contract.
Void contract.
void. Void is nothing but both the parties don't have the right to take the matter before the court. Both the parties don't have the right to take the matter before the court. Void contracts means contract with minor is void ab initio. Void means even the minor cannot go to the court, even the other party can also go to the court. They don't have the right to take the matter before the court. So those contracts are called what? Void contracts. What they are called?
Void.
Void contracts. Next one, voidable, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
voidable.
Voidable means only one party has a right to take the matter before the court. Only one party has a right to take the matter before the court. See, we have discussed one case now. What is that case now? Relating to free consent, we have discussed one case now. Do you remember?
Naughty.
Mother wants to but the only son. Is that property related thing, ma'am? Like
Property. Can you please explain the
He has 4 sons.
Aggrieved party, madam, until the party won't remains valid.
Rashri?
Yes, ma'am. Was that example mother and son example?
Yes, exactly. So the consent is
Where
not
the
a free
mother
consent.
had ancillary property and she wanted to give that ancillary property to her only one son, not to other three, for the startup. And it is not a valid contract as she has to give equally to all of the four sons as it is her ancillary property, not her property.
Okay. And one more case also we have discussed now. Ranganayakama versus Salvar Shetty. Do you remember the case? Any one of you, those who have attended the class? Ranganayakama versus Salvar Shetty.
Ma'am, can you please send this case law in the chat box?
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll do that. Actually, I just rewind. I'll just revise what we have discussed. I told you, one small girl, she will get married to an aged person. Yes, పార్వతి మేడం మీరు అటెండ్ అయ్యారు కదా
ఎస్ మేడం గుర్తులేదు.
గుర్తులేదు
Yes, ma'am.
ఇది
Ma'am, I think we have explained this case law in another section, I guess.
I don't know that one small girl she'll get married to an aged person and after his like the person will die.
Yes.
గుర్తొచ్చిందా?
After that, her relation, after that, her husband relations came and they are insisting her
Force the girl to
to.
adopt the child. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
the
Ma'am, we
girl
have
will give.
explained this in A section, not in B section. That is why we don't know this. Can you please explain?
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. When we'll go to the free consent chapter, there we will there I'll explain once again. It's just an introduction, revising. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
It's an important case. Ranganayakama versus Salvar Shetty. It's an important case. There we will discuss.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Done.
Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
whenever the consent is, see for example, Mr. A forced Mr. B to transfer his property. So, with the threat that he is going to abduct, kidnap your child. So, what happens, Mr. B, he will do the signature on the property papers, not out of free consent, but out of coercion. Yes or no?
Yes, coercion. Yes.
So here what happens, the law is protecting Mr. B but not Mr. A because here the consent is not given out of free consent, it's out of coercion. So that's why here Mr. A cannot take the matter before the court. Mr. B has the right. Mr. B, if he wants, he can take the matter before the court and he need to prove to the court that, sir, he has done coercion, that's why I have done the signature. Now please cancel the contract. He has only the right to take the matter before the court.
Only if he has proof, no? Without proof,
Yes,
he
he
cannot.
need to prove. The proof depends on the person who will take the matter before the court.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so the burden of proof lies on that person only. So this kind of contract is called voidable contract. Voidable contracts means, see, the simple way you remember, valid means both the parties has a right to take the matter before the court. It's a valid contract. Void, both the parties don't have the right to take the matter before the court. And voidable, only one party has a right to take the matter before the court. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's the next one?
Unenforceable contract.
Huh?
Unenforceable contract.
Unenforceable contract.
Unenforceable contract. See, this is what happens. Unenforceable contracts means it's a valid contract actually. It's a valid contract. See, whenever we'll take the matter before the court, there are certain contracts which are required to fulfill some obligations as per court of law. Like if stamp paper is there, when stamp paper is required, you have to fix the stamp paper. It's a valid contract, but without stamp paper, the court will not accept the contract. The court will not accept it. So unenforceable means due to some like the problems are relating to what you call the problems are which can be there are certain problems which makes if you are not going to fulfill those obligations, the court will not accept those contracts. Simple thing, like take the example of stamp paper. If you are going to affix this required stamp paper, the court will accept the contracts. The court will take the contracts. The court will take those matters. So those contracts are said to be unenforceable contracts. Understood? They are valid contracts. due to some technical problems, if you are going to fulfill those technical problems, your contract is a valid contract. Only simple example, stamp paper is required. If you want to take the matter before the court is telling, affix the stamp paper. Do that one, that's it. If you don't do that one, what will happen? It is unenforceable, but it's not void, it is unenforceable. Once you affix the stamp paper, your contract will become enforceable. That's it. Got it?
Okay, madam.
Hello?
Okay, madam.
Rashmi, what happened? You didn't get it?
No, I was writing. Yes, I got it.
Okay. Now you okay? What is there anything left relating to the contracts? Types of contracts?
Illegal contracts, ma'am. Last one.
Illegal contract.
Legal contracts. Legal contracts are, but what I said, whenever you are entering into a contract, both the parties will get the benefit, enjoy the benefit. We don't have any problem, but don't enter into any contract which is against the public policy. If you are entering into any contract like supplying of the drugs, supplying of some like the pistols or somewhat which is against the which is going to injure the public, which is going to affect the public, so those kind of contracts which is against the public policy are called illegal contracts. What they're called? Illegal
Contracts.
So these are the that's it. Over now. After illegal contracts, is there anything left?
No.
No, madam. Or madam.
Import
once again-
export contracts or e-commerce contracts like kind.
They're legal, sir. Why they are illegal?
Are there any import export contracts or e-commerce contracts like kind?
I didn't get you.
Something related to e-commerce contracts or import export contracts.
They are also contracts, no?
No, that is what, like earlier, as you said, I remember. So they are also part of this.
Yes, they are also part of this.
They
All
are
types of contracts are also part.
for e-commerce.
Yes, that is also part of this, now. Because see, whenever you're going to do the online purchase, they will send you some. This is subject to so and so condition. When you're not signed, click on that. Subject to conditions. Hello.
You're audible, ma'am.
See, whenever you're going to do conditions or apply, accept as per the terms and conditions. After you agree, only they will let you to continue with that website or particular online shopping. Yes or no?
This
It's
is
also
illegal
con-
contract. Illegal
It's
contract.
why it will become illegal contract. Who said that if you are going to do online purchases, it's illegal? Illegal means something
It's a
which is
legal
against-
contract.
It's a legal contract. Something which is against the public policy, which is going to affect the health of the people, or something against the public.
Instead of being into
Working actually.
usual paper mode, this type of contract is electronically entered.
That is also a valid contract. Who said that it's a legal contract? E-commerce contracts are also valid contracts. Okay? Yes. Hello?
Similarly, contracts to commit a crime like supari contracts are illegal contracts. Mean?
Huh? What, Sunil?
Similarly, illegal contracts. Similarly, contracts to commit a crime like a supari gang.
Exactly. That is illegal. Exactly. If you purchase through online mode, it's not illegal. If you are doing export import without taking import export license, that will become illegal. Kiran Kumar, you just asked na import export. See,
Yeah.
there is certain procedure. If you want to do import export, you have to follow IEC guidelines. Import export code. As per that code, you have to you need to register yourself and you need to take that code number from that one. So you have to take the permission of like certain authorities are there. You have to take the permission. You need to comply with those rules and regulations. Then you will be permitted. If you are doing against them, that is nothing but it's illegal. You're not supposed to do that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
See,
Anything
list of the
against
contacts. Just
public policy, sovereign, or anything that comes under illegal contract.
exactly anything. Okay, so first we have discussed what? First we have discussed with the different types of contracts. First one is what? Can you please revise? What are the different first thing?
Express contract.
Express contract.
పంపిస్తాను లింక్ పంపిస్తాను 1 minute. First one is what? First contract is
Express contract.
Express contract.
express contract, implied contract, executed contract, executory contract, bilateral, unilateral, then unenforceable, void, voidable, valid, quasi contract, and anything is left illegal contract.
Unenforceable.
These are the different types of contracts that we have.
Enforceable contract.
అన్ని మొత్తం గుర్తుంచుకోండి, ఇంకా మీరు మర్చిపోయిన మీరు గుర్తుంచుకోండి. Okay, so tomorrow onwards I'm going to start the first chapter, second chapter, that is essentials of a valid offer. Okay, so this is what I have discussed.
Valid offer.
Essentials of a valid offer. Offer, acceptance, both are finished. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam, first chapter is over, madam.
First chapter అయిపోయిందండి, not the unit, only first chapter. Okay, same thing we will discuss again and again and again, no issues.
Madam,
Basics
executory,
అయిపోయిందంటే
madam, executed contract or executory contract is same or not different? Executed and executory.
అమ్మ నేను మళ్ళీ చెప్పను, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ నా గొంతు చెప్పి నేను అదే నైట్ లో కూడా అదే గుర్తు చేసుకుంటాను. Someone will explain.
Contracts are what? In which both the parties will do their duties.
Executed or executory.
एक्सक्यूटेड में दोनों पार्टी अपने ड्यूटी परफॉर्म करता. आप उसको चावल भेजने का है, वो आपको प्राइस अमाउंट भेजने का है. बोथ द पार्टीज विल परफॉर्म देयर ड्यूटीज.
Okay.
But
Executory.
in executory contract, one party will not perform their duty. You will not send rice to Mr. B. It is unilateral contract. If you are not sending rice to Mr. B and B is not sending you money, then it is bilateral contract where both the parties will not perform their duty.
Very good. Okay.
In simple terms, executory contract is parties' performance is pending.
Lastly, very good. If new students will come back now, I will take your help.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajeshwari. Thank you so much.
Welcome,
Okay,
welcome.
tomorrow I'm going to start the new chapter. Just try to attend the classes, because if it is more than if you're going to attend the contract classes, you can, as I told you, physical classes are much more better than this. But we'll try to get it tested.
బుక్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఇస్తారు మేడం? మాకు బుక్స్ లేవు. మాకు
బుక్స్ లైబ్రరీకి రావాలండి, వచ్చి తీసుకోవాలి.
టైం పడుతుందంట. ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఇచ్చాకనే ఇస్తున్నా అంటున్నారు.
ఐడి కార్డ్ టైం పడుతుంది. ప్రస్తుతం సిచ్యుయేషన్స్ కి బుక్స్ వద్దు, గూగుల్లో సెర్చ్ చదువుకోండి. బయట సిచ్యుయేషన్స్ బాగాలేదు, మీరు రావద్దు, మాకు టెన్షన్ పెట్టొద్దు. నువ్వు ఏం తీసుకొస్తారు, మీ వెనకాల ఏమొస్తుందో కూడా మాకు తెలియదు. కనపడిన రూపంలో కరోనా వస్తే మాకు భయం.
Have you even get timetable?
Timetable, see, Rashi, as we are also struggling with the new technology, because we got addicted to take the physical classes from the last 3 months now. It will take 2-3 days to get adjusted. After that, you'll have the timetable, but don't worry. All the 5 classes. Unless otherwise,
How many classes daily, madam?
5 classes, but today ma'am is on leave. Constitution. What is that? Family law, Hindu law, ma'am. She's not well. She's suffering with fever. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, madam.
We'll try to
Last
take the
class,
how many classes are over till now?
2 classes, madam.
environmental thoughts and
Three.
contract, 3 classes.
3 classes సార్.
What is remaining? Constitution, I think, na?
Constitutional, yes.
So we'll continue.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Tomorrow I'll
much.
continue.
Madam,
Thank you.
constitutional సార్ వస్తారా మేడం?
వస్తారు ఎందుకు రారు?
Thank you.
ఇంకా 1 more class అయితే మేడం. 1 more.
Yes, it is there. After the friend, you can leave.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉందా? ఏం లేదుగా, ఉంటే రాష్ట్రాన్ని అడగండి.
Yes, I'm there.
Pramod, you are getting confused with this executory and bilateral. See one thing, executed అంటే అయిపోయింది. Pramod, if I hope so that you understand Telugu. Executed means అయిపోయింది. Either parties, both the parties have done the performance. Okay? Bilateral, unilateral, you just leave. ఇప్పుడు ఆలోచించు bilateral, unilateral కోసం. Executed means both the parties has done the performance. Executory means performance of the parties is pending. That's it, completely. And what is the meaning of bilateral means when both the parties performance is pending, that is called bilateral. When only one party performance is pending, that is called unilateral. When both the parties performance is pending, that is called bilateral. Unilateral means only one party performance is pending. Bilateral means two parties performance is pending. దీన్ని ఏమంటారు? ఎగ్జిక్యూటరీ అంటారు. ఎగ్జిక్యూటరీ is nothing but the pending of performances. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Under
ma'am.
executory only we have this classification. Bilateral.
One in which something remains to be done by the parties.
Which is done, executed. Which is yet to be done,
By all the parties.
executory. Okay? No doubts?
Standard form of contracts is there, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Constitution, so I will continue. Thank you.